Have you ever wondered why the US dollar bill is green? It seems so obvious today that we don't even question it. But the truth is, the color green on American money was not just a random design choice. It was once a high-tech weapon against counterfeiters, and it played a surprising role in shaping the country's financial system. The story behind that green ink is packed with war, chemistry, psychology, and a few clever tricks that you'll never forget. The dollar bill today is one of the most recognizable pieces of paper on Earth. It's a global symbol of money, power, and influence. People in over 100 countries use it daily, either officially or unofficially. It's stuffed into wallets, locked away in safes, and stashed under mattresses. But look closely and you'll notice one detail that has never really changed. It's always green. From the nickname greenback to the way Hollywood and pop culture depict money, that green tint has become inseparable from the dollar's identity. But where did it come from, and why did it stay? To answer that, we have to rewind to the middle of the 19th century. Picture the United States in the early 1860s. The country is in chaos. The Civil War has broken out, splitting the Union in two. The federal government needs money fast. Gold and silver reserves are limited, and there's no way to fund a massive war effort using coins alone. So, for the first time in history, the government begins printing paper money on a large scale. These new notes aren't backed by precious metals, which is a radical idea at the time. Instead, they're backed by trust in the government. People call them greenbacks because the backs of the bills are printed with bright green ink. But why green? The answer is both practical and brilliant. You see, photography was the newest technology of the era, but cameras back then only captured in black and white. Counterfeiters quickly realized they could take a photo of a bill, turn it into a printing plate, and run off fake notes. To stop this, the US Treasury decided to print the reverse side in green ink. When photographed, the green areas turned into a muddy black, ruining the image and making counterfeiting much harder. It was one of the earliest examples of using science and technology to secure money, and there's another layer. An American chemist named Thomas Sterihunt developed a special green pigment made from chromium compounds. This ink wasn't just colorful, it was durable and resistant to chemical erasing. In those days, counterfeiters often tried to wash bills with chemicals to erase parts of the design and reprint them. Hunt's ink made that much harder, even though someone eventually figured out how to remove it. The Treasury decided it was good enough. By then, the habit of printing money in green was already locked in, and the nickname greenback had stuck. Over the next decades, the greenback became a permanent part of American life. In 1929, the government redesigned paper money to make the bills smaller and more uniform. Before then, they were oversized, more like sheets of stationery. Shrinking the bills saved money on printing and made them easier to handle. But through all the changes, one thing remained: green ink. Why? Because by then, green had proven itself. The ink was cheap, it was plentiful, and it lasted longer than most other pigments. Other colors faded, smeared, or wore out under heavy use. Green held up, and let's not forget the psychology of color. Green has always been associated with stability, trust, and growth. For a government that needed its citizens and later the world to trust its paper money, green was perfect. It sent a subconscious message of reliability. Green became more than just a color. It became branding for the US economy. As the 20th century rolled on, counterfeiters kept evolving, and so did the dollar. New features were added: fine line engraving, watermarks, security threads, and microprinting so small you need a magnifying glass to see it. In the early 2000s, the Treasury introduced bills with subtle shades of peach, blue, and yellow. These extra colors made counterfeiting even harder. But look at any of those bills today, and you'll see the same thing. The dominant color is still green. The government might experiment with accents, but the heart of the dollar never changes. The impact of those first greenbacks was massive. During the Civil War, they financed about 15% of the Union's costs. Without them, the North might not have been able to keep fighting at the scale it did. But printing money without gold or silver backing came at a cost: inflation. The value of greenbacks rose and fell wildly, and many people distrusted them. Still, they proved that paper money could work, and they set the stage for America's modern financial system. Greenbacks didn't just change banking, they changed culture. Over time, the word green became a synonym for money itself. In movies, cartoons, and songs, stacks of cash are always green. Think of a cartoon character dreaming of wealth, you'll see green dollar signs in their eyes. Think of a gangster movie, piles of green bills spilling out of duffel bags. That cultural identity was cemented by a choice made in the middle of a war over 150 years ago. Here are a couple of little-known curiosities to make the story even juicier. First, that early anti-counterfeiting trick with greening and photography was so clever that it gave the US a real advantage. While other countries struggled with photo-based forgeries, America's bills were harder to copy. And second, in 19th century Europe, the color green was often worn by wealthy bankers and aristocrats as a status symbol. Without realizing it, the US ended up stamping that same symbol of prosperity onto every piece of its currency. So why is the dollar bill green? Because of chemistry, because of war, because of clever strategy, and because once people got used to it, green became a symbol of trust. It was never just a design decision, it was a tool for survival. That's why even today, when you pull a bill out of your wallet, you're holding a piece of history. A little rectangle of paper whose color was chosen to outsmart counterfeiters in the 1860s, and which went on to represent the financial backbone of the modern world. The next time you look at a dollar bill, remember, you're not just seeing ink on paper. You're seeing a story of war, innovation, and psychology that continues to this day. And now I leave you with a question: which everyday object should we uncover the hidden history of next?